Tommy showed up 20 minutes late, dust all over his shoes. Said his truck broke down again. I said, that's nothing new. Joe was talking about Chicago, like he'd leave before the snow. I just laughed and shook my head. Said, you've said that years ago. The coffee tasted just the same. The waitress knew our names. Nobody thought about tomorrow. Nobody thought a thing would change. One more Friday night under the diner light, talking like the world would wait for three boys and a summer sky. One more Friday night, just another night, talking till the diner closed and the stars came out to shine. I swore I'd buy a Chevy when the factory paid me more. Tommy said I'd still be waiting by the winter of '64. Joe kept drawing little maps on a napkin by his plate. Every one of them ended somewhere near Chicago. The jukebox played a favorite song. Everybody sang along. Nobody looked around and wondered how fast the years were moving on. One more Friday night under the diner light, talking like the world would wait for three boys and a summer sky. One more Friday night, just another night, talking till the diner closed and the stars came out to shine. We stayed talking past midnight, laughing at the same old lines. Tommy swore his truck was fine. Joe said Chicago's worth the drive. One more Friday night, that's all it seemed to be. Three young friends, a little town, and a road too wide to see. One more Friday night, nothing special in the air. Tommy laughed and Joe talked big, like we'd always all be there. Fresh cut grass father's aftershave, the clink of coffee cups from an open kitchen window. Mrs. Parker watered flowers outside the Five and Dime, and the morning sun was warming up the sidewalks beneath our feet. The town was moving slower than any other day, like nobody had a reason to be in any hurry. Sunday morning on Maple Street, sunlight on the ground, coffee cups and open windows, peaceful little sound. Sunday morning on Maple Street, everything in place, like the whole town took a breath and slowed its pace. The grass still wet beneath our shoes from the cool of early dawn. Mr. Wilson read the newspaper on the bench outside the store. Somewhere a radio was playing soft enough to miss, unless you stopped and listened for a little while. No one talked about tomorrow, no one talked about the past. Just one quiet morning that seemed made to last. Sunday morning on Maple Street, sunlight through the trees. A town that wasn't trying to be anything. Sunday morning on Maple Street, simple as could be, and somehow that was everything we'd need.
Tommy said, let's stay at my place like he always did. Joe said, sounds better than walking home. And that was that. The radio was playing softly from the kitchen. Down the hall somebody threw a pillow first. Nobody remembers who. Tommy's dog kept scratching at the screen door every time somebody laughed. His little sister yelled, keep it down, from the bedroom down the hall. Staying at Tommy's on a Saturday night. Nobody's tired, nobody's leaving, nobody's looking at the time. Staying at Tommy's, the radio playing low, talking about nothing, like it was something nobody wanted to let go. The porch light stayed on all night like it always did. By the time the sun came through, Tommy's mom was in the kitchen making pancakes for us like she always did. 3 old chairs, 1 broken couch, the windows open wide. Somewhere after midnight, the whole world felt alright. Staying at Tommy's on a Saturday night. The radio's fading, somebody's sleeping, somebody's still telling stories. Staying at Tommy's, morning coming slow, and pancakes on the table, waiting there for us. Joe kept talking about Chicago every chance he got, while Tommy fixed his old truck door out behind the parking lot. Joe said the streets were twice as wide, and the buildings touched the sky. Tommy asked him how he knew. Joe said, I just know somehow. He'd spread a map across the table like a preacher with a plan, pointing here and pointing there, like he'd already been. Joe kept talking about Chicago, morning, noon, and night. Every road led somewhere else in Joe's mind, somewhere past the county line. Joe kept talking about Chicago like it wasn't far away. And somehow every story ended there someday. The waitress smiled when Joe walked in. She knew what he'd say first. Tommy rolled his eyes and laughed, said, here comes Chicago again. Joe just grinned and kept on going, like he always did, talking about trains and city lights and all the places he'd live. Nobody argued much with Joe, we'd heard it all before. Besides, it gave us something to talk about some more. Joe kept talking about Chicago under summer skies. Tommy laughed and shook his head. I just watched him smile. Joe kept talking about Chicago like he had somewhere to be. And every Friday night,
that sounded good to me.
There was a line outside the movie house, stretching halfway down the block. Saturday came with neon lights, and every kid checked the clock. Half the town was headed there, dressed a little better than usual. Nobody wanted to miss a thing on a night that felt beautiful. The ticket girl knew every face from school and church and town. Saturday was everybody's night. When the sun went down, Saturday night at the movie house on Main. Everybody's here tonight, and nobody wants to leave. Saturday night, beneath the neon glow, best place in the whole wide world, or so it seems to me. Someone saved a seat for someone. Someone waved from row 14. Tommy brought a box of popcorn. Joe talked through every scene. People laughed before the funny parts, cheered before the hero won. For a couple hours in that room, life felt lighter on everyone. The lights went down, the crowd got quiet. Someone whistled from the back, and for a little while that night, nothing seemed off track. Saturday night at the movie house on Main. Everybody's here tonight, and nobody wants to leave. Saturday night, beneath the neon glow, three young friends and a small town dream, watching the world go by. Nobody talked about tomorrow anywhere else in town, but up on Miller's Hill, it always came around. Tommy said he'd own a garage with his name out front someday. Joe said he'd see the whole world before his hair turned gray.
water tower stood behind us, the town lights down below. And somehow from that little hill we felt like we should know. Up on Miller's Hill, everybody had a plan. The future seemed so simple, lying there on the grass. Up on Miller's Hill, the whole world felt near, and nobody doubted anything for an hour or two up there. I said I'd buy a Chevy, shining bright as summer chrome. Tommy laughed and said he'd wave when I drove it home. Joe pointed at the highway running west beyond the trees, like every answer in the world was waiting down that street. Nobody had a map, nobody had a clue, but that never stopped us talking like young people do. Up on Miller's Hill, beneath the evening sky, the future felt close enough to almost touch if we tried. Up on Miller's Hill, three young friends believing that tomorrow was already on its way.
We saw Joe coming down Main Street with his head pointed at the ground. Tommy stopped talking halfway through a joke when he saw him coming round. At first I hardly recognized him. Something wasn't right. Joe was never the quiet type, not on a Friday night. He sat down without saying much, just stared at his hands a while, then finally said, "Elizabeth's moving," and nobody cracked a smile. The day Joe went quiet, the whole town felt strange. Even the jukebox sounded different. Nothing looked the same. The day Joe went quiet, Tommy looked away, 'cause all three of us knew something Joe never got to say. Everybody knew Elizabeth. Everybody but her. Joe had been carrying that secret since sophomore year. Tommy kicked a pebble down the sidewalk. I watched the traffic light. Nobody had a thing to fix that Friday night. Joe just sat there looking west, like he always did. But for the first time in his life, he had nothing much to give. The day Joe went quiet, nobody joked around. The sun went down behind the water tower without a sound. The day Joe went quiet, we stayed there till dark. Three young friends and one small secret, breaking all our hearts. I brought it up at the diner on a rainy afternoon. Remember when half the town pointed their finger at me? Joe just laughed and shook his head. Tommy rolled his eyes. That's still the dumbest rumor this town ever had. By Tuesday afternoon, everybody had a story. Some kid swore he saw me riding it past the old drugstore. Remember the bicycle, remember all the noise. Every kid in town had something to say, every girl and every boy. Remember the bicycle, the rumors never quit. Funny thing was Tommy and Joe never believed a bit of it. Tommy nearly started swinging when somebody called me a thief. Joe said, "You don't know Danny," and that settled it for me. The story kept on growing every single day. By Friday
It was 3 bicycles, the way people talked that week. Joe still says he'd throw that punch again. Tommy says he should have hit him harder. I'd tell them both it happened years ago, but neither one's forgotten. Remember the bicycle, the whole town picking sides, Tommy ready for fist fight, Joe standing right beside. Remember the bicycle, we still laugh about it now. Some stories never leave a town, and neither do certain friends.
Tommy showed up 20 minutes late, dust all over his shoes. Said his truck broke down again. I said, that's nothing new. Joe was talking about Chicago, like he'd leave before the snow. I just laughed and shook my head. Said, you've said that years ago. The coffee tasted just the same. The waitress knew our names. Nobody thought about tomorrow. Nobody thought a thing would change. One more Friday night under the diner light, talking like the world would wait for 3 boys and a summer sky. One more Friday night, just another night, talking till the diner closed and the stars came out to shine. I swore I'd buy a Chevy when the factory paid me more. Tommy said I'd still be waiting by the winter of '64. Joe kept drawing little maps on a napkin by his plate. Every one of them ended somewhere near Chicago. The jukebox played a favorite song. Everybody sang along. Nobody looked around and wondered how fast the years were moving on. One more Friday night under the diner light, talking like the world would wait for 3 boys and a summer sky. One more Friday night, just another night, talking
talking till the diner closed and the stars came out to shine. We stayed talking past midnight, laughing at the same old lines. Tommy swore his truck was fine. Joe said Chicago's worth the drive. One more Friday night, that's all it seemed to be. Three young friends, a little town, and a road too wide to see. One more Friday night, nothing special in the air. Tommy laughed and Joe talked big, like we'd always all be there. Fresh cut grass and my father's aftershave, the clink of coffee cups from an open kitchen window. Mrs. Parker watered flowers outside the Five and Dime, and the morning sun was warming up the sidewalks beneath our feet. The town was moving slower than any other day, like nobody had a reason to be in any hurry. Sunday morning on Maple Street, sunlight on the ground, coffee cups and open windows, peaceful little sound. Sunday morning on Maple Street, everything in place, like the whole town took a breath and slowed its pace. The grass still wet beneath our shoes from the cool of early dawn. Mr. Wilson read the newspaper on the bench outside the store. Somewhere a radio was playing soft enough to miss, unless you stopped and listened for a little while. No one talked about tomorrow, no one talked about the past. Just one quiet morning that seemed made to last. Sunday morning on Maple Street, sunlight through the trees. A town that wasn't trying to be anything. Sunday morning on Maple Street, simple as could be, and somehow that was everything we'd need.
Tommy said, let's stay at my place like he always did.
Joe said, sounds better than walking home. And that was that. The radio was playing softly from the kitchen. Down the hall somebody threw a pillow first. Nobody remembers who. Tommy's dog kept scratching at the screen door every time somebody laughed. His little sister yelled, keep it down, from the bedroom down the hall. Staying at Tommy's on a Saturday night. Nobody's tired, nobody's leaving, nobody's looking at the time. Staying at Tommy's, the radio playing low, talking about nothing, like it was something nobody wanted to let go. The porch light stayed on all night like it always did. By the time the sun came through, Tommy's mom was in the kitchen making pancakes for us like she always did. 3 old chairs, 1 broken couch, the windows open wide. Somewhere after midnight, the whole world felt alright. Staying at Tommy's on a Saturday night. The radio's fading, somebody's sleeping, somebody's still telling stories. Staying at Tommy's, morning coming slow, and pancakes on the table, waiting there for us. Joe kept talking about Chicago every chance he got, while Tommy fixed his old truck door out behind the parking lot. Joe said the streets were twice as wide, and the buildings touched the sky. Tommy asked him how he knew. Joe said, I just know somehow. He'd spread a map across the table like a preacher with a plan, pointing here and pointing there, like he'd already been. Joe kept talking about Chicago, morning, noon, and night. Every road led somewhere else in Joe's mind, somewhere past the county line. Joe kept talking about Chicago like it wasn't far away. And somehow every story ended there someday. The waitress smiled when Joe walked in. She knew what he'd say first. Tommy rolled his eyes and laughed, said, "Here comes Chicago again." Joe just grinned and kept on going, like he always did, talking about trains and city lights and all the places he'd live. Nobody argued much with Joe. We'd heard it all before. Besides, it gave us something to talk about some more. Joe kept talking about Chicago under summer skies. Tommy laughed and shook his head. I just watched him smile. Joe kept talking about Chicago like he had somewhere to be. And every Friday night, it sounded good to me. There was a line outside the movie house, stretching halfway down the block. Saturday came with neon lights, and every kid checked the clock. Half the town was headed there, dressed a little better than usual. Nobody wanted to miss a thing on a night that felt beautiful. The ticket girl knew every face from school and church and town. Saturday was everybody's night. When the sun went down, Saturday night at the movie house on Main. Everybody's here tonight, and nobody wants to leave. Saturday night beneath the neon glow, best place in the whole wide world, or so it seems to me. Someone saved a seat for someone. Someone waved from row 14. Tommy brought a box of popcorn. Joe talked through every scene. People laughed before the funny parts, cheered before the hero won. For a couple hours in that room, life felt lighter on everyone. The lights went down, the crowd got quiet. Someone whistled from the back, and for a little while that night, nothing seemed off track. Saturday night at the movie house on Main. Everybody's here tonight, beneath the neon glow. Three young friends and a small town dream, watching the world go by. Nobody talked about tomorrow anywhere else in town, but up on Miller's Hill it always came around. Tommy said he'd own a garage with his name out front someday. Joe said he'd see the whole world before his hair turned gray. The water tower stood behind us, the town lights down below. Somehow from that little hill we felt like we should know. Up on Miller's Hill everybody had a plan. The future seemed so simple, lying there on the grass. Up on Miller's Hill the whole world felt near, and nobody doubted anything for an hour or two up there. I said I'd buy a Chevy, shining bright as summer chrome. Tommy laughed and said he'd wave when I drove it home. Joe pointed at the highway running west beyond the trees, like every answer in the world was waiting down that street. Nobody had a map, nobody had a clue, but that never stopped us talking like young people do. Up on Miller's Hill, beneath the evening sky, the future felt close enough to almost touch if we tried. Up on Miller's Hill, three young friends believing that tomorrow was already on its way. We saw Joe coming down Main Street with his head
pointed at the ground. Tommy stopped talking halfway through a joke when he saw him coming round. At first I hardly recognized him. Something wasn't right. Joe was never the quiet type, not on a Friday night. He sat down without saying much, just stared at his hands a while, then finally said, "Elizabeth's moving," and nobody cracked a smile. The day Joe went quiet, the whole town felt strange. Even the jukebox sounded different. Nothing looked the same. The day Joe went quiet, Tommy looked away, 'cause all three of us knew something Joe never got to say. Everybody knew Elizabeth. Everybody but her. Joe had been carrying that secret since sophomore year. Tommy kicked a pebble down the sidewalk. I watched the traffic light. Nobody had a thing to fix that Friday night. Joe just sat there looking west, like he always did. But for the first time in his life, he had nothing much to give. The day Joe went quiet, nobody joked around. The sun went down behind the water tower without a sound. The day Joe went quiet, we stayed there till dark. Three young friends and one small secret, breaking all our hearts. I brought it up at the diner on a rainy afternoon. Remember when half the town pointed their finger at me? Joe just laughed and shook his head. Tommy rolled his eyes. That's still the dumbest rumor this town ever had. By Tuesday afternoon,
Everybody had a story. Some kid swore he saw me riding it past the old drugstore. Remember the bicycle, remember all the noise. Every kid in town had something to say, every girl and every boy. Remember the bicycle, the rumors never quit. Funny thing was Tommy and Joe never believed a bit of it. Tommy nearly started swinging when somebody called me a thief. Joe said, "You don't know Danny," and that settled it for me. The story kept on growing every single day. By Friday, it was 3 bicycles, the way people talked that week. Joe still says he'd throw that punch again. Tommy says he should have hit him harder. I tell them both it happened years ago, but neither one's forgotten. Remember the bicycle, the whole town picking sides. Tommy ready for a fist fight, Joe standing right beside. Remember the bicycle, we still laugh about it now. Some stories never leave a town, and neither do certain friends.